Start saying being a Jewish artist in 2024, challenges, fears, and learning. I want to start with this story. As you can see, it's me holding a papaya in the kotel. And this is my art. As you've seen, it's around Summer U in different places. But this is a very peculiar story. I'm an artist that I never ask for permission. I'm someone that always makes things. And then sometimes get in trouble, sometimes I don't get in trouble. But especially this time, I had my big papaya with the birkata bite, like this, the prayer for the home. And I was in Israel in a trip for Jewish artists, and I was like, I don't know how, but I'm gonna get my papaya inside of the kotel. So I arrived past the security gate with all the group, carrying the papaya, super nervous, what they're gonna ask me, what are they gonna say. I passed the filter and the police asked me like, what do you have in there? And I was like, Maga, it's a mirror, no worry. So they let me in. I'm arriving to the hotel and then two security guards approached me and I was like, I'm fucked, they're gonna tell me something. And they were like, can we take a photo on your mirror? So they took a photo on my mirror of Papa and I was like, yes, I'm making it. And I was like, if I made it all the way inside of the hotel, there's no way I take it back. It needs to stay in here. So I was like, okay, how am I gonna make an exhibition in the kotel? How am I going to make that this papaya stays in the kotel and doesn't come back with me? So we got into this place. If you get to the kotel to the men's side, all the way to the left, where it's like the most religious place, like the most kosher spot. So I entered there, just like trying to see, and then I found the perfect corner, and I'm like, place the papaya in there, and just look where it was. And I was like, okay, let's see. I think it's the perfect spot. And then suddenly a rabbi comes, and I'm like, fuck, he's gonna tell me something. He arrives to the mirror, he looks at himself, check in his suit, makes like this, and keep walking. And I was like, whoa, it's inside of the kotel, and I left. And I don't know what happened, but I can tell that I have my papaya exhibition in the kotel. I don't know, I haven't been back in a few months, but hopefully in a few weeks that I'm back, I don't know if it's gonna be there or what's the story, but for sure it's holy, and it's one of my biggest achievements to put a papaya in the kotel. So this is how it looked, this with the Berkata bite, this beautiful prayer for the home, and like how it reflected. And this is some of the work, the Jewish work that I've done during my life. But I want to tell you before everything a little bit about me. I am a Jewish artist. My name is Alejandro Glatt, and I'm a Jewish artist, Mexican Jewish artist. And as you may know, I'm the first Mexican Jewish artist to send a papaya to the moon. What does that mean? In February 2024, I was elected by NASA and SpaceX to be the artist that represents Mexico in this mission where 222 artists from all around the world send art to the moon. And I'm going to show you a little bit what it was about, the whole experience. They selected me to like really present a papaya in the moon. So everything started. It was on a platinum disc where 222 artists put different artworks, and everything was sent to the moon in a plate, and it's supposed to be there in the moon for the next 6 billion years. So this is how it was, the whole process, the selection, and this is how it was like in this plate of titanium. And after, on February 14, 222 artists, we literally sent an art to the moon. So I saw how in the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, presenting it in the gala, in everything. I was like having my exhibition with all the pieces around. We had like Snoop Dogg, all the celebrities, like so many people from the industry, everyone seeing how we were sending art to the moon for the first time. But that was the only one that put my art in the exhibition and put the art in the gala and had this like auction and everything. And you're gonna see the rocket launch February 14 at 12. We had like the countdown until we literally saw a rocket leaving the surface of Earth and heading to the moon with my papaya with something in Hebrew written on it. So it was like the first time something in Hebrew arrived to the moon. There was a mission from Israel called the Bereshit mission in 2019 that they were supposed to go to the moon to put all the Torah in the moon, and they failed. So basically, I was the first person in history of humanity to put a letter in Hebrew in the moon. So So it was like a very, very big celebration when like it took 6 days to land from the Earth to the moon. And it was like something very big and like super mediatic. And I was like in all the media of Mexico, like really, really like super, super viral, everything sharing what I was doing. And it's super interesting how in this article, it's from a Jewish newspaper saying the papaya of a Mexican Jewish Alejandro is on the moon and next to the Louvre. So like I've been like categorized as Mexican and Jewish, which is something very strange, it's something very exotic. We're just a few in the world, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about how it's been my process of like understanding what does it mean to be Mexican and what does it mean to be Jewish at the same time. So after this big success in February, everything happened in this year 2024. I got invited from the moon. This something that I would love to share. It's like one of my favorite collectors from Miami. How her son for Purim, it says, Haktamai Joe is dressed up as a Jewish artist. So literally, I'm inspiring people to be like the Jewish artists sending art to the moon. So it was like super cute for me to show like how in Purim kids are dressing up as me to be like a Jewish artist astronaut. And after that, I got invited to present in the Louvre Museum in Paris, the most important museum in the world, in April. So it was like 3 weeks difference. After sending the papaya to the moon, I got this call saying like, do you want to exhibit your artwork in the Louvre Museum in Paris? And I was like, fuck yes. And then you see me holding the papaya with my astronaut suit in the Louvre Museum, having a whole wall of exhibition presenting like why a Mexican artist sent art to the moon. And again, it was like super mediatic. It was like very, very important for Mexico. So a little bit about me. I presented my artwork in 37 countries of the world. I've had more than 222 exhibitions worldwide, more than 99 art awards, and more than 200 sold artworks in my whole history as being an artist. So it's hard to define what I do. As you've seen, I'm like from one place to the other, and this week I'm like just sharing everything, but mainly what I do is sculptures, portals, which are these ones, mandalas, which are like big pieces that represent like the union, collage, auctions, NFTs, DJ, and fruit ceremonies. That's like on the bigger range what I do. And every day I'm doing something new. I'm very creative. But every day I'm like just like keeping it under one concept, which is my own body. So I'm a Mexican Jewish artist. What does it mean to be a Mexican Jewish artist? I'm Jewish. I'm Mexican. It's like when Israel plays against Mexico, am I more Mexican or more Israeli? And after a long journey, I discovered that I'm Jewish, Mexican Jewish, Jewish Mexican. Nothing prioritized. It's Mexican Jewish and Jewish Mexican. So I want to share a little bit of my recent works, how in my art I mix different concepts. As you can see, this is a papaya that I sold to a collector in Tel Aviv a few months ago, and it has the word Hamza, but also has this hand, which is the most famous Mexican candy, which is la manita de la suerte, the hand of luck. So it's like mixing what does it mean for me to be Mexican, taking these icons from Mexico, and at the same time taking words and meanings like Hamza in a mirror and that represent like, I'm finding things that go in common because the hand represents Hamza, but also the hand is something very Mexican as a candy. So I'm like just mixing concepts and staying true to who I am. This other piece is the Frida Kahlo with the word Shefa, which means abundance. So like it's also again mixing being Mexican with Frida Kahlo, by being Jewish with different words that have different significance. I also want to share that I'm gonna be named the guardian of Frida Kahlo. Everyone knows who is Frida Kahlo. Is a Mexican artist and is known to be one of the most important artists in history of humanity. And I'm gonna be named the guardian of Frida Kahlo because there's a second mission going to the moon, and I'm going to send a papaya with Frida Kahlo inside. And that's gonna be in the fall next year. Some of the other work that I do, again, a lot of collage, a lot of mixing who I am, and then other pieces. This is on the maker's home right now in Tel Aviv. This is my bestseller and most like a piece that people love is the SpongeBob with the Shema Israel. It's again like mixing concepts and mixing like my identity, what I liked as a kid, what I like now, my religion, my heritage. Is really, really about mixing everything and more of the collage work, how I mix again elements in here like these canvases that I had an exhibition in Tel Aviv. And this, for example, that I really like, it's like a it's very Mexican traditional technique called rótulos with Mexican flowers, with the Mexicans call for the Day of the Dead, with Jewish words and Hebrew words. So it's really mixing like אנחנו אחד, we are one, mixing being Mexican and being Jewish at the same time. I find something super deep in that because it's like really, really who I am and my pure self. Hazak Memat, we're stronger together. And something I want to share, what I am is what I create, my identity and my roots. I went to a Jewish school all my life. I went to the Tzufim, to the Scouts, in a very like a non-religious but traditional Jewish family and Jewish school and Jewish community in Mexico. This is me as a kid. I was liking fruit since I was a baby. The wall was full of watermelons in my house. I'm so happy that I end up choosing the papaya and not the watermelon because if not, I will have a huge conflict right now in my life. But I stick with the fruit and follow my intuition. So I come from my family comes from the Soviet, from Ukraine, and from Russia. I'm Mexico. I'm the fourth generation that comes to Mexico. My four grandparents were born already in Mexico. So I'm the fourth generation of lineage from Jewish Ashkenazi Mexican. I'm Alejandro, Glatt, Porteni, Rusek, Gorinstein, Brucheten, Chanovsky, Bakal. Those are my last names. And I did a DNA test and I'm 99.9 Ashkenazi Jew. Thank you, thank you. So it's so incredible for me because it's like again I'm very Mexican, but at the same time I'm very Jewish. So it's like who I am. It's like what I create. And be careful with your nice Jewish face. I want to tell this story. So my Jewish life, my identity, and my roots. Again, I was like in the Tzufin, I was a Madrich, always very involved in the community, always very Jewish, went to a kibbutz, like always like wanting to explore my Judaism, my Yaldut, with many doing different stuff. After I graduate, started university, started making art, starting to explore, I feel as any teenager, just wanting to know something different, wanting to be rebel and just like everything that I learn is not correct. I want to go to somewhere else. So I started learning a lot about meditation, about yoga, about different practices, about Buddhism, about Hinduism, about like different cultures. And I feel my work started to like get really connected to all these things. For example, this is a piece that I took in Brazil, this photo representing the goddess Kali from India. And then this is the Virgin Mary, La Virgen Maria from Mexico, and I have a sculpture in Tulum representing the Virgin from the Catholics. Then using the mandalas, which is also Indian, having a lot of like things on my work. Pyramids representing Mary, Egypt pyramids. And then I was like, okay, I'm taking all this from all these cultures that I'm learning from all these places, but who I am, like who I am, I really am. And I understood in that moment that it was my time. After going 4 times to Israel, I was like, I think it's my time to go to Israel, spend some time in there, and really connect with my roots, like where my family comes from, with my lineage. Why am I exploring so many other cultures if I, as Jewish and Mexican, have so many inside of me already? Things that I know, the Yiddish, the Mexican, the Hebrew, we have so many cultures, so many tarbut. So I decided to go to Israel last summer. This is very recent. And I arrived with a pack of papayas without really knowing what I was going to do. I was prepared for an exhibition without having anything, without mostly not knowing anyone. But it's a crazy story. But I was in Tulum and I met this guy that was super in tech, in technology, and he invited me to join a project in Tel Aviv. He was like, come and we incubate your idea and we're going to make it. Please come for the summer. And we work it with all my team. And that project was called Only Fruits. It's like a OnlyFans, but with fruit. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Tel Aviv and let's see how it works. Let's do photos and content and let's see. It was a complete mess. It didn't work out. It was like very hard to monetize. It was very, very, very chaotic. But it made me go to Tel Aviv. So I say, okay, I'm in Tel Aviv. I'm gonna host a fruit ceremony. So I host in Charles Clothes Park my first fruit ceremony, which was like getting so many people around an altar of fruit and just seeing how people interacted with fruits on a very unique way, making a mandala, connecting, speaking about the aldud, the brachot, but really connecting my Judaism with myself. And I decided like my heart is with Israel. I feel like so connected. I feel like so home, just like arriving to Ben Gurion Airport and crying and feeling like this. We are Jewish and we belong to the land. So Bruchim Abaim, Abaita, when I like just saw this and I was like, okay, I feel very connected to this. And as again, every time I get to a new city, I'm a big hustler. I just like go ask, knock doors, say. Like I don't send emails and wait for a response. I like just go and speak to people. So anyone knows the Abraham rooftop in Tel Aviv, one of the coolest rooftops. I just reached to them and I was like, I want to make an exhibition. And they're like, send an email, I send a WhatsApp, and wait 2 weeks. And I had another meeting. I end up having my exhibition in middle of the summer in Abraham, which was super cool. I also opened a gallery in Herzl 86 in Florentine. So really, I've been super making moves, speaking to people, saying, can I bring my art? I take care of everything. Don't worry. I just carry set. Like I'm very prolific, and I'm always making moves to make things happen. And so yeah, then they started filming me for this whole thing in Abraham, and I had the whole rooftop with like 3 weeks of exhibition, and it was like super interesting. And this is where I was like, okay, I'm gonna make art. I have my papayas, but I need to create art that represents who I am as Jewish. So I started doing all this exploration, investigation. Anyone can know what is this? Similar to what? Exactly. So it's like I was like, if I can find pop icons in Mexican culture, if I can find pop icons in general culture, I can find the popular icons in Judaism. And one of them, of course, is the Nachman. I started going to the Shuka Carmel to just like get the boxes from fruit and cutting the fruits, and then like how can I make the papaya seeds, for example, with the Moshiach, and just like grabbing text and grabbing stickers. I'm all the time like grabbing stickers from places and just like recreating it in my work. Here you have like some fruit from different boxes and oranges and everything is like very wherever I go. This piece that after I did a shirt and everything, well, again, it's like I love Jewish girls and the text and the comics, like everything that is written in Hebrew, I know it has like so much meaning. So this is another one that I love with the Nachman saying papaya, the whole concept about like, this is the Ten Commandments, and I changed the Ten Commandments, which is like papaya. Why? Because I feel papaya is a Mexican fruit, and papaya represents all this abundance. And I've been doing so many research on fruits and on Judaism as well. So I feel I'm just like unveiling this part of myself that I'm like discovering new things and new things. And then I started doing many things with the watermelon until one guy told me, you know what the watermelon means? And I was like, no, I have no idea. And they said, like, it's something pro-Palestine. So stop using the watermelon because you can have a misunderstanding, especially if you use the triangle. And I was like, okay, I didn't know. This was before everything. And again, mixing papayas, going to the kotel. For example, I found this flyer of the kotel in Chinese. So it's like, I'm very passionate for mixing cultures and just like finding what does it mean to be Jewish. Then I did a Vipassana, which is a 10-day meditation course in the Gania, which really was super impressive how it changed my perspective of seeing life. And then I started playing again with this concept. This, for example, is like the Birkata Bite, but it's called the Birkata Papaya. So it's like mixing concepts of like being Jewish, but at the same time being fun, and at the same time just mixing like a tooth, the batiach, the mango, and just like mixing fruits and mixing Judaism with like, again, everything is a mix. And I feel being an artist is something very important to do that, to be able to allow yourself to mix many of the things. This one as well, like says Parnasat Tova with the papaya and the 613 mitzvot. Then I did my papaya mezuzah. So I like launched this whole thing, and people like started putting them on their doors, and it was just like, what does it mean to be Jewish? What does it mean to be papaya? And then these places, these other pieces like Shefa, the abundance with the collage technique, different stuff, Parnasat Tova, the 613 mitzvot, Shefa, and time started going by. I was all June in Tel Aviv, all July in Tel Aviv. I was like, maybe I should stay a little bit more. I'll stay for the Yontef. I went to Yom Kippur to the Kotel, and I was like, wow, I feel so connected. I started to attend to different classes with different rabbis, learning about them, and then interpreting everything they were saying with my art. So it was like really, really a process of like learning from the rabbi and then transmitting that into art. And art for me has been always like a tool to just like express myself and communicate what I want to communicate to the world. So after Yom Kippur, I organized this amazing papaya festival, Sukkot Shabbat edition, where we had like everything around the whole exhibition, and this was the night of October 6th. So it was like Friday night in Yafu, where things were feeling very strange, very, very, very strange that night. My roommate calls me and he's like, someone just like got into our apartment. That night, someone entered to my apartment in Tel Aviv in Florentine and stole my camera, my phone, my friend's computer. Like things were going like so strange. So I went to sleep like super freaked out. You know, I went to a Jewish school, always learning that Israel is like the safest place for me and Israel is my home. And whatever happens to me, I will be safe in there. And I was like, I'm not even safe in my own apartment in Tel Aviv. Someone entered and got a key and stole my stuff. And I was like, just like trying to sleep. And then the alarm starting to sound. And like, this was the last event. As you can see, like these photos for me represent like, it's not like something was on the vibe going on. And I when I was seeing these photos, like they look like not festive. For me, this looks like there's something going on, and it's like something like dark going on. And the energy was very dark, and I felt it so strong. So that night, October 7, like I just woke up and I was like, like never been so scared in my entire life. Just like shaking, not knowing what to do, trying to be with my friends, like just shaking, shaking, shaking. And I create to express my feelings. I was like, I was at my best friend's house in Schenken, and I was like, the only thing I know I can do, because there's nothing else I can do, is to create art and to express what I feel. So I just like explode all my collage stuff, went to the streets to gather some stuff, and just like starting explaining how I was feeling through art. And this was the outcome, which I made like this whole frame saying like a little bit how I was feeling. I was feeling fear, Zman Simchatenu, when it was like time to celebrate. If you know like exactly that moment, it was Zman Simchatenu between Sukkot and Simchat Torah. And I remember I uploaded a video to my Instagram saying like, Zman Simchatenu is the time to celebrate, it's the time to be happy, and it's the time that the mitzvah is to be the happiest you are in the whole year. And exactly in the Zman Simchatenu is when happened October 7th. So it was like for me a like big like a contradiction of like my obligation is to be happy, and at the same time this is going on. So it's like I shall live, peace is the goal, equanimous, Shema Israel, en tiempos de guerra, times in war. Like really was like a something very strong for me. And as every Jewish kid, my parents were freaked out, and they were like, "You're coming back to Mexico tomorrow. I don't care." And I was, "No, I want to help. I want to volunteer." And they're like, "No, you're coming back. You're coming back. This is not an option." And I was like, there were no flights. It took me almost 2 weeks to leave, but I finally found a flight and went to Madrid to see my sister, and then went back to Mexico. And I was like, got to Mexico, like, you know, when they say when you're like drinking a beer and you just put it on the table, where this table at the same time inside is shaking so much. That's exactly what I was feeling like in my parents' home in Mexico City, just like, fuck, I'm so scared. I feel so impotent. I want to help. I want to do something. I don't know what to do. So I decided, I was like, I'm going to just organize Jewish artists around the world, because art is the only way to express. So I just created this flyer saying Jewish artists together in New York City, Mexico City, Bogotá, Madrid, Miami. Now is the moment to raise awareness and unite to share how proud we are to be Jewish and reflect it in our artwork. We will host simultaneous exhibition in 6 major cities of the world, hosting art auctions where the funds will be sent to those in need right now in Israel. We are not soldiers and can't fight like them, but our fight for peace is through art, expression, and inspiration. Let's all get together and make a big movement in the world. I'm Israel High. I was starting to look for venues, artists, and curator. I feel like I've never been a soldier in my life, and I cannot even imagine how it feels to be a soldier and go to the war. But like on my space as an artist, as a Mexican artist, I was like, the only thing I know how to do is not the best thing I am I doing is just to organize and bring people together and make a movement. So this is something I want to say again. Now is the moment to raise awareness and unite to share how proud we are to be Jewish and reflect it in our artwork. As artists, we're activists because art is a message. And wherever someone sees a piece of art, they're reading something and it's a message that you're sharing. So this is a photo of me and my parents when I got back from Israel, feeling like so sad, but at the same time with so many things that I wanted to do. And I organized this first 3 days after coming back to Mexico. I just started posting in groups, and I organized a whole group show with 30 Jewish Mexican artists where we did an auction and we donate an ambulance for a tala because I was like, we need to help in some way. And this is the interview that they made. It says, sentí una conexión muy fuerte con mi judaísmo. It speaks about after being there, how intense was my connection with being Jewish, how proud I was wanting to be Jewish, and how proud I was to be sharing that in that moment. So after that, it was a big success. We sold a lot of art, and I said, look, okay, I started working on my Jewish side, on my Jewish artwork. Now it's the time to be a prolific Jewish artist and just explode this concept as much as we can to raise awareness and just make Jewish art. And I started doing, and again, this has been my bestseller piece, the SpongeBob with the Shema Israel. And it was great how the more exhibition I had, I was going to Art Basel in Miami, the biggest art show in the world. And my dad was I was for 2 months in Mexico City, going all through this process and just preparing. Finally leaving my parents' house to go to an exhibition, and my dad is don't do Jewish art, please don't do it now. Now it's very complicated situation. We don't want to get in trouble. I was like, let me do one Jewish piece. Let me just take this Shema Israel SpongeBob and we see what happens. If we have a problem, we remove it, but please, let me take it to the exhibition. Guess what the first piece that I sold in the art basket? The Shema Israel SpongeBob. Because Jewish people want to be together with Jewish people now more than ever. And Jewish people want to connect with Jewish art. And just by placing something in Hebrew, that's like a magnet for Jewish people to come and say are you Jewish? And I was like, yes, of course. And I was like, wow. It's a common language, especially in Miami during Art Basel. People who are wearing their Magen David, me with my huge papayas in Hebrew, is we feel like brothers, and this brotherhood feels more than ever. And I'm sure we all now understand it here, but me that I'm in a secular world all the time doing art exhibitions, it's crazy how we connect each other and we just come together. So then I did this one, which is the Birkat, my second bestseller, which is a prayer for the home that many people also love to put it in their house. And I'm just reinventing what does it mean to be Jewish art, because something is the Jewish art that we've seen during all our lives, the same Hanukkah, the same Birkat, the same Hamza, but what about making it more contemporary and having a new twist? And then the high that I had one in here is lost. I don't know where is it. If someone saw the piece, please let me know. No. I hope it's safe. Don't worry. Don't make that thing. So then, after that success, I started being known as a Jewish artist. After being a Mexican artist many years and being a Mexican artist who is Jewish, I start by making this Shema Israel SpongeBob piece, getting to be categorized, tagged as a Jewish artist, which is not something bad. It was something amazing because they started inviting me to present my art in so many events around the world. For example, this was a charity auction in Miami where they invite me as a, like, I started to make buzz about I'm a Jewish artist, I'm a Jewish artist, and people started to reach to me. So this was the exhibition. I had like all these pieces in Miami on the exhibition. It was super successful. This is Ariel, one of my best collector. She's my biggest collector in the world from Miami, and she got like that big piece. We donate everything to Magen David Adom. And then I was like, okay, I feel doing art and doing Jewish art events where we can like get together, speak about everything, and at the same time raise funds through art. I think that's a super successful formula, what we were speaking last night. So I went to LA and I was like, I'm gonna repeat the same formula: papayas to the moon, exhibition, fruit ceremony, and charity art auction, kosher le Pesach. It was during Pesach, so it's always like, as you see, I'm not putting like Jewish art in huge, but I'm being like very suggestive because we understand what Jewish like, and if it has a Bezrat Hashem and it has this, I don't have a Magen David, I don't have like it's a Jewish event, but people immediately get that it's gonna be kosher le Pesach, so they know what I need to prepare for. And again, it was like a big success in LA, a city where I have like zero PR, but people really are spreading the word right now like never ever in history. And these are some of the pieces that I presented. Also at Teletobi with the Shema Israel. And again, the protagonist SpongeBob with the Shema Israel. And then I did a whole tour around California where I did like from Coachella Festival to like LA. And then I was in San Diego and then in La Paz, in Baja California. Everything sharing Jewish art. And it was like, it's impressive. And it happened to me again. I go to Los Cabos to this show. It's Mexico, north of Mexico. No one is Jewish there. And my dad again, be careful. Don't take anything Jewish in there. Don't get in trouble. I arrive, have my exhibition. The first person that comes to speak to me, it's about the Birkat Havai. Are you Jewish? Ken. So I feel this like brotherhood that we have as Jews wherever we are in the world. And I feel it's now more important than ever to identify yourself as Jewish. If you have your Magen David, wear it. Like, show your colors, because if we don't do that, no one else is going to do it. So I started doing more events and more events and more exhibition, and then like a group show. We have David in here too. On this show. And then started organizing this big papaya Shabbat in LA, where again, same formula, so many people, everyone like just wanting to know about why papayas and why Judaism and and I was like, come to the event and you will see. And then this exhibition in San Diego, and then again, like how people were like asking questions, and I learned that I can speak about, for example, the Birkat Havai prayer, and someone that is not Jewish also is very interested, because the Birkat Havai says, Babait Hazeh, what we're calling for our home, which is Shefa, abundance, or light, Simcha, celebration, Shalom, peace, Shalvat, tranquility, Ahava, love. So it's like something that applies not only to Jews, but to every single culture, what we want to call into our house. So it's like something that I learned, that everything, all the values from Judaism can be applied in other cultures as well, and people like it. So I've been able to sell Jewish art to non-Jewish people even, which is something impressive. And some of my favorite work, pop art, the Manischewitz papaya, a classic, the Birkat Havai papaya in pink, this whole collection called Am Israel High papayas, the Golda Meir papaya, the Herzl papaya, this shirt that I was telling you about, like Parnasat Tova and I Love Jewish Girls and the mitzvot. It's like bringing all the knowledge to a modern world, a modern culture of 2024. We don't need to keep doing the same thing that it's been doing from hundreds of years. And then I want to tell you about a concept called the kosher pop. What is kosher pop? Anyone knows what pop art is about? Okay. So there's a branch in the pop art called the kosher pop. I met Steve Marcus in the Jerusalem Biennale, the biggest exhibition in Israel, which is every 2 years. And he told me about this concept about kosher pop. And I was like, what the fuck is kosher pop? And he's like, it's pop art, but it's Jewish pop. And this is one of her work. He works things about Yiddish, about mixing like skateboards with bagels, and like schmaltz. Like his work is like so crazy. And when I started speaking with him, and I was like, "You're blowing my mind. It's brilliant what you're telling me. Brilliant." And now we're launching a collaboration in the next month. We've been already speaking about how we're gonna do the kosher pop papayas and everything, and we're gonna present it in Brazil in a museum. But like really opened my mind to understand the concept of kosher pop. So being a Jewish pop artist in 2024, and as we've been hearing, this is the Jewish renaissance of art. So I want to give you some examples of people that are doing kosher pop. What does it mean, the kosher pop? Using the kotel and using all these colors. This painting of bazooka, like it's bringing things that are very nostalgic to the modern world. This is Ezra Badman, one of my favorite Jewish artists. He has many stuff around Israel, and again, taking things from culture and like making collage and putting one thing on top of the other. This one that I saw in Miami of like a Gal Gadot saying "Bring them home." Another one from Ezra Baderman, Alex that had a talk yesterday. Like all this is inspiration, and I love to know and to learn about other Jewish artists. This one of Oy very poppy, and I got invited by Habura, which is they reached to me via Instagram to join a trip to Israel of Jewish artists. And I was like, wow, I'm making Jewish art and I'm getting like this buzz around the world. So I went with 30 Jewish artists from all over the world to what they say, it says collaborate as co-creators in the renaissance of Jewish culture. Join us as we make Jewish art history. I was like, wow, we're really living a very special moment in life right now. And then I got commissioned by Verge to make their official poster for Yom Ha'atzmaut 76 years, where in my collage, I'm including art from some of my favorite Jewish artists. This is from Alex Woz, this is from Steve Marcus, that one is from Ezra Badman, like from Pilpele. So I'm like using other artists to involve in the process of what does it mean the kosher pop and having Jewish artists together. And I love this comment, how it say like Israel encapsulates the spirit of Yom Ha'atzmaut with its rich symbols and heartfelt tribute to Israeli independence. So it's like really bringing together things at the same time. And I want to share this project as part of the trip. We went to the Kibbutz Kerem Shalom in the border with Gaza, and I placed a mural of a papaya called Papayas for Peace, explaining everything about how important it's like to have a mirror, and it's so important to look to our side and not to look what's on the other side, because we need to protect ourselves and be together as Am Israel. It said on the top, Shalom Beshalvat, peace and tranquility, and that's how we started the whole piece and how it looks. It's still in there in the kibbutz. If you go, you can visit it. And yes, just speaking about, this is the piece that I, after putting the kotel, but speaking about the piece, always doing the collage. This is the whole group that we went to Israel together, super special trip. There were like poets and photographers and writers and videographers, everyone identifying themselves as Jewish artists. And that's me. And this is the collage that for those that were on the session, big applause to them, which is now in here because I love to create, and I'm in conversations because I want to take this whole piece to Tel Aviv and have it on an exhibition on a gallery to learn, to share about what was Summer U and how we collectively created. And to finish, of course, if I'm speaking about the challenges of being a Jewish artist, this is something I want to share. It's crazy how when I post something related with Israel, I get more hate comments than love comments. And it doesn't make any sense. Like, why I am like receiving so much hate for people and I'm not receiving the support I'm expecting. But of course, it's always easier to hate than to support. But I just want to share a quick story of yesterday. I took a story with this, with the, I don't remember her name. Anyone knows her name? What? Ali. So I just took a story of her and I immediately started receiving hate comments like, what, like, and I also want to share after I finish like any feedback from you about how to behave. But like I'm receiving like these kind of comments in the last 24 hours. Like instant unfollow, this face like this. Like people are like, I don't know what's going on, but we've been receiving a lot of hate. And just to finish, I want to tell you that I'm organizing this amazing trip to Israel in a few weeks, and I have already 30 people confirmed, which is gonna be very special. And we're gonna have many things going on. So if everyone wants to join, it's the old poster. I have the. You're right. I'm missing the Yalagan logo. It's in there. I'll share it. I have it. I was just very rushed. But yes, if anyone would love to come and just like explore what does it mean to be Jewish, and as I said, join us for Am Israel Papayas, where fruit, art, and music collide. Embark a 14-day. Join us for an exclusive journey in Israel, where we network, connect, explore, volunteer, and make a difference. And yes, I'm still open if anyone wants to join because it's going to be very special. We're going to film, create, explore, and feel our feelings. Europe can come as well. As they accept me here, even if I'm not a student, if you're not a, you can. And thank you. And this is my Instagram. If you want to support Jewish artists, and every time you see someone saying hate, just throw some hearts or some love. And yes, I would love to finish. If anyone has some suggestions of like a how would you react to this type of comments? Like if someone posts me free Palestine or something like that, like what would be an answer, a proper answer to reply? Okay, okay. Any other possibilities? Not worth it. You say it's better just to like.
Send them a link to like podcast. it's it's impossible to really like change their mind. So any energy is going into it. Yeah. Send them a merch link.
What do you mean by the name? Uh, all right. Yeah, that's clear. You? Ah, you were here. I didn't know you were here. No, sorry.
And he managed to connect with him just about basketball or whatever, and he just tried connecting with him. And at the end, the guy was like, "I'm sorry, man, I had a bad day. There's no reason for me to do this, you know, like." So it's either don't waste time, but
Papayas for peace. Any questions? Yes, after doing many research of Mexican fruits, I found out that papaya is the native Mexican fruit. So basically, papaya represents Mexico. And by using something in Hebrew with the papaya, it's like really mixing being Jewish and being Mexican, just like speaking about myself and my roots and who I am. I am the papaya. Nice. You have a question? So, great question. So the whole concept is called papaya portals, and the whole idea is like how you see yourself reflected, and I mean like seeing yourself reflected in a papaya with the briccata bite, with pink hair. It's like having a conversation with yourself, and it's very very about this concept of like going inwards and stop looking around the whole world, but just to look at yourself. And it's crazy how I've been placing my art in different festivals, for example one in Costa Rica called Envision, and people coming to me and saying like, thank you, I haven't seen my face in so many days. And I'm like, it's just a mirror, and you see how many mirrors are in the world, but I'm just like making art with the simplest things in the world, which are fruits and mirrors. And I'm just like putting it in a gallery on a place where people are there to contemplate art, and people are like so amazed. And it's something so simple. It's something that everyone can relate. Everyone can relate with Angry Birds and the Fruity Loopies and the papaya and the gansito, and this has the flag of the Moshiach, and it has the bananin and bananon, and it's like very, very making icons that people can relate with their culture. And this, for example, is very Mexican and Jewish at the same time. So it's like I'm Finnish. Now that you told me that it's from Finland too. Thanks. Yes. Yes, please come to Tel Aviv and that's it. Take stickers. Thank you, Alejandro. Thank you. Thanks so much. It was great. Sorry, I forgot your name on the presentation. I was very nervous.
It's the same name. Your name.
Yeah?
Alexandra.
Perfect. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
It
brother.
was really fun.
And please take some stickers. I I travel with them.
And
I,
I'm happy.
yes, they are.
You traveled with us. Wow. He shipped them in advance.
No, no, I travel with them on the plane.
Can I take a picture of the
Yeah. Of you?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
This one.
Sorry.
I don't know. You're good.
And I'm gonna have a proper exhibition today.
All right, I'm going to the pool. I'll see you there. Behind you.
Yes. Gracias, bro.
Do you
Gracias.
have these video or no?
No.
Next, well, you're coming to Tel Aviv soon, no?
Yeah.
Can you bring me one? Do you have them at home? I'll
no,
pay you for
I-
it, but I really want one of those.
I have them on my store online.
I know, but where are they shipping from?
They're like a print on demand, so I don't have like a inventory.
Print on demand. Oh, that's
So yeah, someone orders and you get it in 2 weeks.
David.
Thank you.
You know he has them on
The what?
print on demand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the print.
Thank you.
Alejandro, great job.
Thank you,
Very
brother.
inspiring.
Thank you for coming.
I like to see the full story beginning to end. It's different from
Super
hearing
cool.
it from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. It was
My
very
favorite part was
special.
the space part.
Yes?
That was
Put
crazy.
your contact back on so
Yes,
people can have it.
thank Yes. ¿A foto? With this? Grab the papaya
Sure.
flush.
Like this.
Yes.
Can you take like this maybe to take the papaya or it's too bad? Okay. Bad light?
Maybe here. With this papaya like
Or
this.
it's like too bad? Can you try be like because I will put it. Thank you. Thank you. I help cleaning anything up?
No. I want a photo with my Polaroid. Can you take me one with this? You click in here.
In
What's
here,
I
that?
right?
love, thank you so much for the presentation. I love it.
Thank
Your
you.
art is amazing. What you're doing is incredible. You're
Let's take a photo. Yeah. Thank
brilliant.
you.
And I'm honored to be a part of your presentation.
Of
I'd
my-
say I'm completely happy for my face to show here because it's safe. But I think in future maybe take my face out if you show the presentation just for caution.
I'm not gonna do it
But
again, don't
okay.
worry.
But I'm happy for here because it's fine because everyone here is safe.
Yeah,
But in future, my face, I think,
Of
take
course.
it out. But I think it's incredibly special what you're doing. I'm going to be in Tel Aviv, I'm going to be in Israel next week,
Really?
in August as well. So I'd love to come so I took some pictures, but please send me any details.
Yeah, a ver, show me
yeah.
the scan here so you can join the group.
Amazing.
And you wanna stay with us and everything?
Oh, that would be amazing. I don't know if I think I have I'm staying from the 5th to the 15th, but I have I can stay after that, so that would
Yeah,
be great.
sure.
That'd be amazing.
So why don't you like stay in the group and stay with us in the building and everything?
That'd be amazing. Yes.
Oh, I don't have reception here. I think I don't
Here,
know.
if you put
You don't even know, but take a picture.
Ah, sorry. Are you coming to my trip to Israel too?
I wanna, but like I'm already going home. Well, actually, I wanted to because I'm working for this Jewish magazine in Germany, and I'm making the art
Really?
there.
I would love to be in the magazine.
Yes, amazing. I will
I
Yeah, because I'm making art in character, and I work in Vienna for this. And yeah,
very cool.
maybe we can exhibit you. You wanna if you're interested to exhibit you in our online and Instagram and everything.
I'm planning to be in Berlin in
Yeah,
September.
but I live in Vienna.
Ah, you live in Vienna.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love your session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
Also, if you want I brought you the water, you can just use it, keep it, drink it.
Thank
I think
you.
after talking so long, it's
I have a little bit here, no? I'll take
it's
the
yours,
last.
okay.
Yeah, with the. No, I have more. I don't have here in my room. I'll get more and I'll give you later.
I don't know if you want to stop. You will go continue or you're I think we will just let's meet
No.
maybe tomorrow during maybe tomorrow during lunch or dinner and talk about it. What do you think?
I would love to be in the magazine.
Okay, perfect. And let's.
Thank you, brother.
You can give me your WhatsApp and then we will.
Yeah, sure.
And then we will talk maybe tomorrow at lunch or dinner about it because we can make a few things.
I
And
would love it.
if that's okay, audio record it too, so I can better.
I like an interview.
Huh?
An interview.
I audio recorded you so I can write something also about you, but I also
Okay.
wanted to.
Why don't we do an interview? I have the camera and microphone, and if you want, we can do an interview, and then I can give it to you.
That's also cool. Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm gonna the pool.
No, not now.